Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. This is the Hackathon for Social Good 2022 project presentations and closing ceremony. Thank you so much for joining us today. So just to start off by sharing a little bit about the Hackathon, we are the Hackathon organizers. I am Stephanie Rideout, Leadership Fellow for Python track, and I'm joined by Anjali Menon, Leadership Fellow for Blockchain track, and Zarreen Reza, Leadership Fellow for Data Science track. So the Hackathon for Social Good is where we use our tech superpowers to create a solution for the social good. The Hackathon offers an amazing and engaging learning experience for the Women Who Code community while we develop projects that promote social good. And here's our website where you can find more information about the Hackathon, previous sessions that we have had. And this is hosted by the Women Who Code Python, Blockchain, and Data Science tracks. So as you can see, we started this process in June, and we are at the last stage today, which is our top team presentations and closing ceremony. So project submissions, the teams were tasked with creating a brand new project featuring a social cause and using at least one of the provided tech stacks. The judging criteria, hackathon projects were evaluated on the following criteria: social impact, the level of impact the project would have on society; creativity, innovation, uniqueness of the idea and the team's approach to solving the challenge; technical execution, use of the chosen tech stack to solve the challenge; completeness, is the code complete? Is there a working demo? Presentation, clearly written challenge statement with video demo or visual presentation, sharing what you learned from the experience. And these were our amazing hackathon judges, which included Carrie Rich from Shutterstock, one of our amazing partners here at Women Who Code. And at Women Who Code, our judges included Anjali, Archana, Sapphire, Stephanie, and Zarreen. So now we're going to go into our project presentations. So just a little bit of background. We had 6 teams who presented their projects at our project demo day on July 16th. The top 3 teams were announced at the end of that session. And so the top 3 teams were invited to present their projects today at the BlockDataPy Summit. And the presentation order is purely logistical, which means there's no hint into who's first and that sort of thing. So you'll want to stay to the end of the session to see how that works out. Each team will have up to 10 minutes for their formal presentation. After each team completes their formal presentation, if any time remains, there will be a brief Q&A for the audience to ask questions. Please share your questions in the chat on Hopin if you have any. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to say the top 3 teams who are going to share their amazing project presentations include Rescue Lytics, Recycle Ninja, and Multicultural Marvels. So we are going to start with Rescue Lytics, and Kayla is going to join us on screen.
Can you hear me? Does it work?
Yes.
Okay, super. I'm just going to share my screen really quick. Okay, cool. Oops. All right, super. Hi, everyone. So my name is Kayla, and I work as a data scientist for an insurance company. And for this project, I'm going to be representing our team Rescue Lytics and show you a little bit about our submission for the hackathon. So first, a little bit about our team. We're a group of 5 people. We all are based in Chicago. So there's myself, I was the team lead. We had Evan, who contributed as a developer, Kara as an analyst, Chris as a data scientist, and Joseph as an analyst. So one thing that to me was exciting about like our team's breakdown was that we all came from very different like technical skill levels and technical skill sets. So it was pretty cool to have a collaboration with people who take very different roles in their kind of like experience and kind of find ways for all of us to contribute and work together. So here's a little bit of what inspired our project. So all being in Chicago and all being pet lovers, one issue that's top of our minds is the number of animals who don't have homes in our city. So here's a couple of statistics that I pulled from 2020 from Chicago Animal Care and Control. So this is only from like one organization that helps rescue stray animals, and the overall numbers are probably higher. But in that year alone, nearly 6,000 stray animals were brought to animal control. Over 2,000 of these were surrendered by owners. So like the pet owner could no longer care for their animal and had to give it up. Nearly 2,000 animals were euthanized. And only 1,000 were adopted directly from animal care control. So with this sort of in our minds, we started our project by reaching out to a nonprofit in our area called Rescue Chicago. And this nonprofit is, they're nonprofit, but they work directly with the like the government agency or like the city agency of animal control to provide volunteers, to provide like material donation goods. And we wanted to know basically like how can we use data and how can we use tech to help get animals adopted. And so I also mentioned Code for Chicago here. A couple of us on the team are part of this group, and that's how we kind of formed our team. And after the hackathon, this is now become an official Code for Chicago initiative. So it's kind of how we're going to support the project going forward. So putting a little onto paper of the challenge that we chose to address for our project, talking to volunteers at the nonprofit, we heard that one issue top of mind was that they felt that if they knew why dogs weren't leaving the shelters quickly, they could use these insights to share with the media, to share with potential adopters, to help inspire these people to volunteer and to adopt. And in order to kind of action on this and use data, we decided to build out a data analytics dashboard that uses data from Pet Finder for dogs in the Chicago area to explore trends in how long it takes animals to get adopted. And I'm excited to share that our dashboard is publicly available. So after my presentation, I'll share the link so you're free to go play around with it. And the code we've also made public as well. So a little on the tech stacks that our team used. So our first step was to collect the data. So we wrote data scraping and cleaning scripts using Python. So these like made requests to the Pet Finder API to get data, organized it in pandas, and did some like feature cleaning and feature engineering off of it to support what we thought would be most useful for like analytics and insights. After collecting the data, we built out a database. So we used Python, SQL to build out a Postgres set of databases and tables, and built that in Heroku, which is a platform that basically like lets you, it can host databases, it also hosts our app. So we learned some libraries to help kind of facilitate that. And then finally, we ultimately built the dashboard that I'll demo shortly. And we used Streamlit as our main tech for this, but kind of on the back end of it, we're also using SQL, and it all lives within Heroku. So it was kind of cool to play around with new tools that I think everyone on the team was exposed to at least one new tool that they hadn't used before. So it was a great learning opportunity. All right. So now I'm going to flip over to our Streamlit app. Right, cool. So So we wanted to build out a way that would allow us to visualize trends, but also to enable people who work in the nonprofit space or just are interested in helping learn and communicate about pet adoptions to also be able to like self-service these data insights themselves. So we're an app that lets you kind of scroll around and explore yourself different comparisons and trends. So our main metric we were interested in was length of stay. So that's what you're seeing here on the y-axis. And this is the number of days it took from the time a dog was posted on Pet Finder until the time they were ultimately adopted. So you can see sort of like a distribution of that. And then the color on these charts shows how many animals fall into that bar. So for example, I think like looking at this, what really stands out is this yellow bar, which shows that the breed American Staffordshire Terrier has a really high number of dogs of that breed that were up for adoption. So to do a little demo of this, I'm going to pull up, we built out to use the sidebar. You can filter by what breeds you want to look at. So I'm going to pull up the 4 most common breeds in our data set. So these are just the breeds that had the highest count that were up for adoption. So there's pit bulls, labs, chihuahuas, and beagle breeds. So just looking kind of here on the landing page, you can see that based on length of stay, pit bulls had the highest length of stay out of these 4 breeds. On average, they were almost 160 days. So that's like 5 months or so, a little more than 5 months on average that they were living in the shelter before they got adopted, which is expensive because the shelter has to pay to house them, has to pay to feed them, has to coordinate volunteers to bring them on walks. So the longer that an animal is in the shelter, this is something we want to try to like reduce and see if we can help get them adopted faster. You can also see the bright yellow bar shows that the Labrador Retriever breed actually had the like largest number of animals of this breed that were listed in our data set and so for adoption. And so to dig in a little more, another feature we built into our website was sets of filters so that you can, within these breeds, compare different like attributes or classes. So to give an example, I'm going to filter based on animals with special needs. So this could be something like if they have maybe like medical conditions that would require extra care. So we have drop down with the different attributes. So I'll pick on the left, I'll say like special needs true. And on the right, I'll say special needs false. And so now you can see the 2 comparison charts here. Zoom in a little bit more. These now reflect like the filtered set of data. So for example, the left is special needs, animals with special needs. You can see that pit bulls with special needs, now their length of stay is like over a year. So this like kind of subpopulation of animals has an even harder time being adopted. And because the 100 is like a larger number than the others, there's also a lot of dogs that fall into this category. In comparison, for animals without special needs, pit bulls are still length of stay is the highest, but it's not quite as big of a gap to the other breeds. So one sort of insight I think that this shows me is that if you're open to adopting an animal that's a pit bull breed, and if you're open to adopting one that has special needs, like this particular type of dog would have an even bigger impact on the state of animals in our city. So I thought this was pretty cool and can be pretty inspiring to someone who's thinking of adopting. So outside of looking by breed, we also wanted to enable users to look at different categories or different classes and comparisons. So we have another page called Other Trends. And so here you can look at any of these different attributes. You could click through and it'll show you a plot of like whatever attribute you pick. So to demo this, I'll pick the attribute age. So we're looking at, in our data set age, it was not like a number of years, but instead it was a category, because for shelter dogs, a lot of times it's hard to know exactly how old they are just because you don't have the historical information. So dogs are grouped into babies, young, adult, or senior dogs. And so something interesting here, I think, is that the baby dogs, or like puppies, have much lower lengths of stays on average compared to other dogs. So this shows that this was an insight that to volunteers at the organization Rescue Chicago, this is something they kind of knew and matched with their like institutional knowledge, but baby dogs are adopted faster, whereas other ages take a little bit longer. And also the count of baby dogs is a lot higher. So this shows that like a lot of dogs that are stray also tend to be younger. And then we can also filter here to look at like comparisons by age. So for example, one attribute we have in our data set is whether or not the dog would be a good fit for a household that has children or not. So for example, let's look at on the left graph, I'll show dogs that would do well with children, and on the right, dogs that would not do well with children. And then again, we're looking at the length of stay, so how long it took to be adopted. So here you can see that if you're a senior dog and good with children, you still take longer to adopt than the other ages. But a puppy that's good with kids is adopted very fast, like less than a month. In comparison, for animals that are not good with kids, the baby puppies, they still are longer or faster to adopt than the other ages, but it's on average 127 days. So it's a lot longer now. It goes up to like 3 months. And then I think another kind of interesting comparison or insight is that for being good with children, there's a ton of puppies. So puppies tend to be good with children, whereas more adult dogs are not good with children. So you can kind of learn through these comparisons about like the different correlations or relationships between different attributes and how what kind of dogs are like of the highest need and can benefit from being adopted the most.
Fantastic. All right, Kayla, we are at time actually. Yeah. Thank you so much. And anyone, if you would like more content to Kayla's amazing project, you can go back and watch the project demo day recording as well.
Great. And I'm happy to answer questions in chat, and I can just chat back if anyone.
Yeah, absolutely. So please let Kayla know if you have any questions in the chat. She will be around to answer them. Thank you so much, Kayla. And that's an amazing project. Thank you. All right. So we're going to now invite the next team to present. So let's invite Maggie, Undine, Miriam, and Nashmaya to join me here to share your presentation.
Hi. Okay, can you see the screen?
Looks great. Could you click either slideshow or presenter mode?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mariam Mutanawi, and I will be presenting our products on behalf of the Recycle Ninja team. I would like to start off by thanking the WWCode members for choosing our project to be among the top 3 teams. So who are the Recycle Ninja? The Recycle Ninja team consists of 4 members: Undine, who worked on the back-end development, Nashmaya on the front-end part, Maggie, who's the product manager, and myself, Mariam, who worked on the data analysis part. I'm pretty sure you all have noticed how the world is facing a problem when it comes to waste management and recycling decisions. People might face different recycling challenges from a city to another too, where waste management rules may differ. So based on some data analysis and research we've done, we've noticed that in 2020, the world generated 2.24 billion tons of solid waste, which is equivalent to 0.79 kilograms per person a day. Unbelievable, right? Sadly, the population is rapidly increasing and global waste is expected to increase more and reach 3.88 billion tons in 2050. But we can let that happen. So based on the observational distribution you see here, which shows us the different types of waste in a data set, we can notice that most of the waste isn't recycled. As 80% of the waste is not recycled, and since different cities has different waste management rules, so our team figured out a way to help and support individuals make recycling decisions easier to reduce waste. That's when the Recycle Ninja comes to the rescue. But what is it exactly and how does it promote social good? The Recycle Ninja is a web application that recommends the best recycling option for users based on their location and the waste at hand. The aim of the app is to encourage recycling and discourage contamination. It also tries to connect things that are usually different from a city to another. Here are the tech stack we worked with for developing our software. We first off used Python as our primary programming language. Secondly, for the data analysis, we used Plotly, Matplotlib, Seaborn, and Pandas libraries in Python to get insights and illustrate our points. For the web development, we used Flask packages deployed with Heroku. It queries the database when you navigate to the Ninja part of the site, which you will see in a minute. The waste item, choices for the city that you have selected, and then it displays the waste stream when you hit submit. And then there's HTML and CSS to make the website more appealing and easier to navigate through. And finally, for the backend, which we face some challenges with, because not all the data is actually being published into datasets by the communities, so we had to use Selenium package for web scraping the data from websites. As you can see from the following code, we've started out by going to the website page that actually has the information we need. We waited for the wizard widget and material list to load, so we would be able to find what we're looking for. Then we're finding the elements that are the alphabetical letters, which are clickable to expand the CSS selector. In the loop, we're expanding each element as well as the links they point to, such as acetone for A and whatever the result is for acetone, and so on. Then we're appending it to the list, which we have created, the RC list. After that, everything is turned into a list of lists combined into a single data frame, as you can see, but this isn't where the web scraping part stops. There's more to retrieve from the links, as well as some data cleaning to have it all in one similar format, which is put into a database with fields of material, category, and instructions. Here is a final format of one of the files, which is then put with all the other cities in a database using SQL. Now for the demo part, I'll let my teammate Maggie walk us through the recorded demo to explain how the Recycle Ninja webpage actually works.
Hello, thank you for tuning in. My name is Maggie. In this 3 minutes video, I would like to walk you through how to interact with Recycle Ninja application. So this is a Recycle Assistant application that recommends the best recycling option for users based on their location. Right now in our database, we prepared 3 cities. And of course, the team will continue working on more city locations to improve our data. Just the other day, I was talking to my friend about this application, and she happened to live in Boston. She loves cooking, but always produces a lot of aluminum foil waste. She noticed this application and decided to check it out. So what happened is you can either scroll down and find aluminum foil or any garbage of your preference, and then you select submit. Here, the Ninja recommend her to recycle when she's in Boston. So put this item in the recycling bin and make sure you're recycling it out by 6 a.m., right? And any other detailed information that's there. Just a couple weeks ago, she actually traveled to Toronto. So now when she moves around, she can also pick the city of her location, and now she's in Toronto. Well, she was cooking again and decided to perhaps just recycle aluminum foil like she used to do, right? But is that the case though? Let's see. So Toronto aluminum foil. Well, actually, in Toronto, aluminum foil is kind of garbage, belongs to garbage category, right? So it is better off for us to be more environmental conscious and following different city regulation and rules depends on the garbage and also certainly your location. So that is a short demo for how to interact with this application. In this website, we also include our amazing team who work on this product so much. And then the other tab, we share the information on our analysis regarding this global recycling challenges. And the last area, we included different analysis in our database resources. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to hear more from you guys. Thank you very much. Hello, thank you for
I'm pretty sure my teammates are sharing the app in the chat, which you can check it out yourself and play around with it. Now for the improvements, we believe we could improve the product by one, including more cities, so more people could benefit from it. And as we've mentioned before, that different cities have different waste rules, so it would be more helpful that way. Two, include guidance and useful resources for items that aren't in the database, such as similar websites we've found on the internet like Earth 911 and TerraCycle. Include on-the-go options to nearby waste bins when you're on a long trip, for example. And we're also thinking about contacting more cities to encourage them to share their data sets in open data portals, which would be beneficial to other people to work on solutions like we did. He ends our presentation. Every team member learned different things throughout the hackathon, from programming to front-end skills to new innovative ideas, and we all, of course, had fun. We hope you liked our project, and thank you so much for listening.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Team Recycle Ninja, especially Miriam, for that amazing presentation. We really enjoyed your project and very inspired by it. So we're at time and we're ready for the next presentation. So let's go ahead and introduce the third and final team who will be presenting today, and that is Multicultural Marvels. So Jen, Ali, Karina, Akanksha, Serbi, please join. Join the session. Welcome. Good luck.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. First of all, thank you very much for this opportunity. Hackathon for Social Good. Our team, Multicultural Marvels, Project Code Donations, and the Social Good Women Recently Released from Prisons. The solution causes donations, and we are Multicultural Marvels, our amazing team, and Akansha, full stack engineer, Jean, team leader, Ali, techno leader, Serbi, data engineer, and me, Karina, UIX engineer. Thank you.
So,
Yeah, you can just talk.
So our idea for looking at a project for social good was by contacting an organization that actually needed some assistance and to try to figure out how we could help them technically. So we found out about an organization called The Second Chance, which is in Scarborough, Ontario, Canada. And so this organization helps women who have been released from prison. And usually when women are first released from prison, their priorities are food, shelter, and reconnection with family. But once that's resolved, they need furniture, household items, clothes, and etc. So this supply issue can be dealt with technically. So what we did in order to address the supply issue of the Second Chance needing more physical donations like furniture was we wanted to web scrape platforms where people living in or near Scarborough, which is where the organization is, we were looking for people offering needed goods for free or for a low price, like on Kijiji or Facebook Marketplace. And the user would be emailed to ask them to consider donating their offered goods to the Second Chance Foundation instead of selling it on Kijiji or another platform.
We wanted to web scrape Kijiji. However, because of legalities, we weren't able to do that. Instead, we created our own site on localhost and web scraped that. So I'll now switch to our site. This is Kajojo donations. This is data from one day, and you can see that emails are none. But in the real example of this, there would be real people's emails. And so I'll take you through a demo of this site. So what we did is we created a web scraper that looks at all of the posts on the site, as there are many, and looks at which ones can the people coming out of prison use. For example, it has to be within their locale. It has to be one of the items that they're looking for, and it has to be below a certain threshold of cost. If someone's expecting a coffee, like to sell a coffee table for $1,000, they might not want to donate. But if somebody's looking to get rid of their things for $10, possibly they'd be willing to donate instead of charging. So I'm going to run the web scraper now. And it'll go through this website and tell you which one of the posts actually meet the requirements. You can scroll up here. And we can see that it has found a couple of items. It found Kajojo user with the item that is a $9 mattress with pillow. There's another user here with selling a vintage dresser. So these are the users that this algorithm would email. Now, for the sake of this project, we're not emailing real users. We've created our own user to email ourselves. So you can see here that we have received the emails. Now, this is mimicking a Kijiji user. These specific emails would say, hey, we saw that you were posting on Kijiji, and we would like you to consider Second Chance, in donating to Second Chance instead of charging or looking for money. hello, Hackathon for
Okay, hello everyone. So this is our architecture, or we also say development plan of our project solution. So we have web application, which is good user donation, from where we will be web scraping the data and sending the emails from Second Chance Foundation. So the tech stack which we are using in this project is one Python, Django, Postgres, and we have deployed our code in AWS Lightsail, and the code are also in GitHub. So what it is that the application code Jojo donation, which is showing, is built in Django framework. Django web application. Django is a web application of Python, which is open source and free to use and easy to use. And the data which are displaying here are all stored in Postgres database. And for web scraping, we have used Python Beautiful Soup, which is very helpful to and one of the best tool for web scraping. It pulls the data from HTML and XML so that we can use the data in a very effective way. So yeah, and we have deployed our source code application in the AWS Lightsail so that we can also have the knowledge of AWS and learn from it also. So yeah, these are the things which we have used in our application. Thank you.
Hi guys. First of all, I'm very grateful for this opportunity to be working with these wonderful ladies in this project. So the takeaways we have are: first, we learn about all the unique challenges faced by the women coming out of prison with their mental and physical well-being. Uh, Coming to the tech stack, we learn Django and web scraping and how to create a website from scratch, and of course collaborating with each other, sharing knowledge. The next steps with the project is we will keep providing our technical expertise to the Second Chance with this project, and we are currently in contact with the higher ups of Kijiji, and possibly we'll get in touch with the Facebook marketplace to get special permission for web scraping, and they can potentially offer the service to other charitable trusts so that they can benefit from furniture donations. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Welcome. Sorry. Thank you so much to Team Multicultural Marvels. That was a fantastic presentation. Thank you for staying within the 10-minute window. You were great. Fantastic. And so that was such a great presentation. We're now going to move forward to our closing ceremony because we have like 5 minutes left. So let's continue on. So first off, in Multicultural Marvels, you can click the leave button, and Zarreen and Anjali will be joining me in a moment. So I just want to say thank you to the top 3 teams for sharing your amazing project presentations. Each one of them was just so inspirational and just offers so much positive social impact. So thank you so much for sharing. And now we are going to move to our closing ceremony. So before we get to the moment everyone has been waiting for over the past month and a half, thank you to all of the teams that submitted projects to the Hackathon for Social Good. I just want to give a big round of applause to everyone who submitted a project. And our community and judges were inspired by all of the projects. Anjali and Zarreen, is there anything really quick in like 30 seconds each that you wanted to say at this point before we move to the results?
I think I was super inspired by all the projects. The ideas were amazing. And actually, I'm happy that the team did something for the social good as well as applied their technical skills. So kudos to all the teams who participated and eagerly waiting for the announcement of the winners.
Very well said, Anjali and Stephanie. So the judges, all of us, we were super impressed by all the submissions. And I think one last thing that really touched me as a part of this hackathon is the how appreciative all the participants were to each other, whether they're from the same team or another team. They were always cheering for each other instead of it being like a competitive event. So that was really amazing. That's what Women Who Code stands for always. So big applause to all of you for holding on to that. Over to you, Stephanie.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree with that 100%. There was so much amazing collaboration and help and support by everyone who participated. And I also just want to give a shout out to anyone who worked on a project, but it wasn't quite ready to submit. That I just want to give you a big thank you for your hard work. And we look forward to seeing your work in the future. So keep going. Do not be discouraged. Keep going. All right, fantastic. We're going to get to the final results now. So, Anjali, would you like to do the honors of announcing the #1 winning team?
Yes, sure, Stephanie. So the #1 winning team is, drum roll please. I'm super excited. Recycle Ninja. Congratulations, team. You did a wonderful job.
Yay, congratulations, Recycle Ninja. So happy for your amazing work and incredibly inspiring, and looking forward to seeing you take this project to the next level. All right, Zarreen, would you like to do the honors of the next?
Absolutely. So the second winning team of this hackathon is Multicultural Marvels. So big congratulations to Multicultural Marvels. The project was amazing. We were super impressed by all the great work you have done. I wish you all the best, that you continue on this success, and congratulations again.
Great job. And the #3 winning team is Rescuelytics. So big round of applause for Rescuelytics. All the scores were so close throughout this hackathon because everyone submitted an amazing project. So congratulations. And I also wanted to give an honorable mention to one of our hackathon submissions. And I'm not sure if she is still here. I did see her here earlier, but if not, she can watch this on the recording. So the team I would like to give an honorable mention to is Prep and Step by Jacqueline Brothers. And so for Jacqueline, this was her very first hackathon, and she worked all by herself, and she did a phenomenal job. She developed a web application to help children with special needs adapt to a sudden change in their routines, and it was just a remarkable project. I wish we had time for everyone to be able to present today, but as you can see, our time was, fairly limited to 10 minutes per team. So please go back and watch her presentation on the project demo day recording, because she did a fantastic job. And if you see her floating around the summit today, please reach out and tell her that we saw her mentioned at the hackathon, and congratulations for an amazing job. All right, so we're just going to have a celebration. Let's take a moment to celebrate all of the teams. So congratulations to everyone who submitted a project. And so those teams include Recycle Ninja, Multicultural Marvels, Rescuelytics, Prep and Step, Team Oceanus, Connection Generation, Sales STEM Lab. So big round of applause to everyone. Thank you so much for submitting projects and all of your hard work that went into them. And to close out, I just want to say thank you for an amazing hackathon experience. This was my first time organizing a hackathon. I believe it was the same for Anjali and Zarreen, and everything was just so amazing. We were inspired by your work. We want to thank the judges once again, all of the presenters, all of the participants, whether or not you submitted a project or not. all of the attendees. So if you attended any of the sessions at all, big thank you so much for sharing your support with the team, asking them questions, engaging with the different sessions. And of course, big thank you to the organizers of the hackathon, Anjali, Zarreen, and myself. And there's also a global team who's been behind us, supporting us through this process. And so just big round of applause and thank you to everyone involved for making this an amazing, amazing success. So with that, I just want to say thank you. And you can join all of our track communities at womenwhocode.com/Python, blockchain, and data science. And so we have regular track events. So, you know, there might be a possibility of a hackathon, say, in the future. So please follow all of our tracks and join us. And yeah, that's it. And we're at time at this point. And so awesome. All right. Well, thanks everyone so much. And really appreciate everyone's time. So big round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.